Okay, we're in Trigonometry, section 5.2, page 2. 5.2, page 2. We're talking sum and difference identities. Okay, and I got a few directions here on to get started on how to do this. All right, the procedure for this. And these are long here, so again, I always say this, stop the video whenever you feel you need to. Turning my hat backwards for this. This will be good. Okay, stop the video whenever you feel you need to and go nice and slow. So the first thing is you need to draw the triangle and then apply the proper formula. Not hard, okay? All right, this is very time consuming, hence the video. So I can go real slow and do it well, okay? Okay, so let me clear that real quick. All right, so we're going to do 2A, and I'm going to be taking up all the whole space, and we got 2 questions to answer about it. So it's going to take a little bit of time here. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the two triangles. Okay, so here's triangle A. Okay, and that's going to be, and I don't draw them to scale, I just draw them real quick. So we're talking quadrant 3 here, and we got -3, -4, and 5. It's a 3, 4, 5 triangle. And then the other one, B, that one's going to be, that's a 5, 12, 13. 5, 12, 13. And I need to do sine of x plus y. And the sine of x plus y, or a plus b, is going to be right here. Sine of a cosine b, sine a cosine b, plus the reverse, cosine a sine b. Okay, now I'm going to switch colors here. And I'm going to execute this guy, all right? So it's going to be the sine of a, -4 fifths, okay, times 12 thirteenths, okay, plus -3 fifths times 5 thirteenths. And I just followed this formula right there with those two triangles that have been written, okay? And then if you do all the calculation of that, you end up getting -63 65ths, all right? So that's sine a plus b, or x plus y, however you want to look at it. Now, I'm going to erase some of this. I'm going to leave the two drawings there. I'm going to erase quite a bit of this here. Okay, so for the next part, the tangent of x plus y, okay, that is going to be, and I'll get the formula out for you, tangent x plus y, or a plus b, is tangent of a plus the tangent of b divided by 1 plus tan a times tan b. All right, so there's a lot there. So let's check it out. So that's going to be 4/3 plus 5/12 divided by, okay, and I did the divided by instead of this line because I'm going to be flipping some stuff upside down. 1 minus 4/3 times 5/12. This is where all those arithmetic skills are going to come into play. All right, common denominator here is 12. It's going to make this 16/12. So as you can see, that makes 21/12. All right. And then that's going to be divided by, if I keep going here, we've got some cross canceling to do. That's 3. So we got divided by, I'm going to make 1 into, I'm going to make 1 into 9ths. So it's going to be 9/9 minus 5/9. Okay. There's a lot to digest there. All right. So I might put that in parentheses to check it out. So again, 1 is the 9/9. Okay. And of course, that makes, when you multiply that all through, you're going to end up going 21/12 divided by 4/9. And I'll turn that upside down. And eventually, if you work it out, you'll end up getting 63/16 is what you'll end up getting. Okay, with all the reducing and everything. So I'll let you guys handle that part where you reduce it all by yourself. Okay. Well, that's 2A. Okay, 2B right here. Step 1, we got to draw these triangles. No problem. Let's get these things drawn well. Okay. So here is 2B. And I'm going to move it all. I'm going to move this all the way over here. I'll start over here. Okay. So we got quadrant 3 for the first one, and that's going to be -4, negative, whoops, -3, my bad, and 5. Okay, because quadrant 3, the sine and the cosine are both negative. Okay, and the other one is a 5, 12, 13 again, and it's in quadrant, what did I say, 2? Quadrant 2, so that's -5 for the cosine, 12 for the sine, 13, or I should say the y to the x, there you go. All right, good. So there it is. I need to do cosine x plus y, okay? So cosine x plus y, let's make sure we know what that formula is. So cosine x plus y, or on my sheet, a plus b, is cosine A cosine B minus sine A, come on, sine A times sine B. Okay, no problem at all. All right, so let's take our drawings here and let's crank this out. Okay, so we're going to do a cosine of A, -4/5 times -5/12 minus -3/5, okay, times 12/13. Wow. Okay, so you can quickly see that you end up with 20 minus -36 over 65. And of course, when you end up doing the double negative there, it's a positive. So it's 56/65. Okay. That's cosine x plus y, or a plus b. All right. So let me erase a few things here. And let me do the tangent of x minus y, the tangent of x minus y. Okay. All right, so tangent x minus y, we need to get that formula, or tangent a minus b. That's going to be tangent a minus tangent b divided by 1 plus tan A tan B. Okay, so let me switch colors. I didn't do that last time. That probably helps. All right, so let's go ahead and draw this out. So that's going to be 3/4 minus -12/5. Now, if you don't know where I got that, the tangent of this one is 3/4. It's two negatives, -3 over -4. And the tangent of this one is opposite over adjacent, which is 12/5, and it's negative. Those are the only two numbers I need for this formula. And I'm going to divide it by 1 plus 3/4 times -12/5. Okay. So if you work this first part out right here, this ends up being 63/20. And it's going to be multiplied by -5/4. This part ends up being 5/4 when you boil it down to it. Okay. Again, I'll let you do the arithmetic on that yourself. And you end up with -63/16. Again, if I do all the arithmetic, it would be here forever. Okay, so there's 2b. Okay. All right, let's try 2c now. 2c. Okay. For 2c, first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the triangles, and that shouldn't be too hard. I'll slip them in here. Triangle A, we got something like this: 2, -7, and this is radical 53 to get those triangles drawn. They wanted quadrant 4. I got it in there. The y is negative, the x is positive. Triangle B is going to be also quadrant 4. You end up with -4, 9 is the hypotenuse, and then this is radical 65. First one we want is sine of x minus y. Okay, the sine of x minus y, or a minus b, we've got sine A cosine B minus cosine A sine B. Okay. So the math on that now, to throw the numbers in, this is going to take a little bit of work here, but that's not too bad, I guess. We got, it'll be negative, I'll put it right below it so you can see it. Radical 53, all right, times radical 65/9, that's the cosine of b, minus 2 over radical 53. It's a 3, come on now. Times the sine of b, which is -4/9. Okay. So, I mean, getting the common denominator is really easy, of course. That is 9 radical 53. And we're going to leave it there. We're not going to worry about rationalizing the denominator. Again, it's a time thing. And then the top there isn't really too bad. It's -7 radical 65, and it's +8 because you got a couple negatives there. Okay, so there you go. Again, don't worry about rationalizing the denominator. Like I said, we're making some choices just for time's sake on what we're doing here. Okay. All right, let me get an eraser here. Erase this bottom part. I'll leave the triangles as I do the cosine of x minus y, okay? So for the cosine of x minus y, or a minus b, as I keep saying. We're going to have cosine a. Get the pen back. Cosine a. Cosine b. Plus sine a. Sine b. Fantastic. Okay. All right. So the cosine of a and b. We got, I'm going to change colors here one more time for you. 2 radical, or divided by radical 53. Okay, parentheses times the cosine of b, which is radical 65 over 9, plus the sine of a, negative 7 over radical 53, times the sine of b, which is negative 4/9. And again, the common denominator is really obvious. 9 radical 53. We're not going to rationalize the denominator. And in the top, you're going to end up with 2 radical 65, and it's going to be plus 28 because the 2 negatives make a positive. All right, it's a lot of work. I mean, it's just a lot of cranking out numbers there. Okay, and again, pause this video whenever you need to. Maybe the next set, you try them first by yourself and then turn the video on. That's a great suggestion. So that's what I would suggest. Okay. All right, so let me clear those, and I'm going to go ahead and slide this down to the last 3 here. Okay, see how much I'd like to make it a little bigger if I could. Oh, good. That's one more time. Yeah, there we go. So I think that'll work. Okay. Okay, so let's try these. Just right there. Perfect. All right, so let's try these guys. So we are now doing 2D. Okay, so 2D. Start off with a red pen there. First thing you got to do is we got to draw these with these triangles. Okay, pretty simple. It's all about taking your time. Some of this stuff you just can't rush. I don't believe in rushing people on these. It's great if you can think quickly in life, but it's also really nice if you can just take your time and enjoy the process. Okay, so getting that triangle itself takes a little bit of work. Okay, by the way, negative 2 radical 10 is radical 40. Just simplified a little bit. Okay, and the second triangle, B, is in the second quadrant, so I'm going to throw it there. Again, I don't draw to scale. I don't worry about that. 2, negative 3, negative 3. I'll make that a little better. There we go. And then, let's see, nice radical 13 here. Okay. All right. Cosine A minus B. So I got to get that difference formula. That's going to be, I'm going to try to squeeze it in right here. Cosine A, cosine B, cosine A, cosine B, plus sine A, sine B. All right. There's your difference formula for cosines. Okay. So change colors of the pen and throw the numbers down for you. Okay, so we got, what do we got here? 3/7. 3/7 is cosine A times cosine B, which is negative 3 over radical 13. And again, I'm not going to worry about rationalizing the denominator. And we got sine A, which is negative 2 radical 10. Come on now. negative 2 radical 10 over 7, parentheses, times 2 over radical 13. Okay, getting the denominators very easy. That's 7 radical 13. I'm not going to rationalize it. I'm going to make my life simple for now. This is negative 9 up here, and then this will be minus 4 radical 10. And we're just going to leave it like that. Okay? If you rationalize the denominator, you're getting into too many prior skills that I don't want to get into at this time. Okay. Now let me erase this so I can do the tangent of a plus b. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Good, good, good. And we are going to do the tangent of a plus b. Great. So the tangent of a plus b, I need to get that formula. And I'm going to write it right here. That's going to be the tangent of a minus the tangent of b. Okay. Whoops. Tangent of a plus the tangent of b. Sorry about that. It's an addition formula. It's the addition one. Divided by 1 minus tan A times tan B. Okay. Just about made an error there, but I caught it. Okay, so this one, you've got the, I'm going to move down. I'm going to go to a different color, and I'll move down to the bottom. Then you'll see the pen come in there. It's going to be negative 2 radical 10 over 3 plus negative 2 over 3. And then this is divided by, okay, I'm going to change this line to divided by, because I'm going to turn something upside down there. Divided by 1 minus negative 2 radical 10 over 3 times negative 2 over 3. Wow. Okay, there's a lot going on there, okay? So the answer in the end, by the way, I'm going to get this on the board here. This is kind of a crazy answer. Negative 6 radical 10 minus 6 divided by 9 minus 4 radical 10. A little wild there. And again, I'm not going to multiply by the conjugate and simplify it. I'm going to keep it real, just real generic, okay? So to go from this to this, it's a little bit of work. If you can't handle that and get to that answer, I'll have to do that in class for you, but I'm going to leave that as simple as I can for right now, okay? So let me do E next. Okay? And again, I would suggest you actually do this problem before you watch the video. That would be my suggestion, okay? Okay, first thing, draw the triangles. I'm going to put one in here. I'm going to put one in here, okay? So for this one, the two triangles looking like this. Here's A. Third quadrant, negative 1, negative radical 15, and 4. And here is B. B is 6 here, 5 here, negative radical 11 there. Wow. Okay. These are pretty hard problems. I actually give you some pretty tough ones. Okay. All right. So for the first one, sine of A minus B, I'm just going to go ahead and draw that out. That's going to be sine of A times the cosine of B minus cosine A sine B. Okay? So let me change pen colors and get that to the bottom, all right? negative square root of 15 over 4 times negative radical 11 over 6 minus negative 1 over 4 times 5/6. Okay. And really, what's great about this is it's not too bad. I mean, the common denominator is clearly 24. You can see that. And then on the top, if you multiply 15 and a radical 11, you just get radical 165. You're not able to take anything out. That's a 165. Okay. And the back part is plus 5. You got the two negatives. So that actually isn't that bad. Now let's try the cosine of a plus b next. Okay. So let me clear the eraser this. Just take everything out. Leave the triangles. Okay, so for the next one, it's the cosine of a plus b. Okay, the cosine of a plus b is cosine a cosine b minus sine a sine b. Great. Minus sine a sine b. Okay, let's try it. So we have negative 1/4 is cosine a. And again, I would suggest you do this ahead of time and then come in and see if you can match it up to the work here. 11/6 minus negative radical 15 over 4 times 5/6. Okay. And you know, you can see that the common denominator is 24. So that's pretty easy. And again, it really runs together pretty good. So you have radical 11 on the left side there. And you got a couple of negatives. So it's plus 5 radical 15 over 24. Okay. So there's 2e. All right, one more. One more. And again, I would highly suggest you do this ahead of time and then check it against the work that I'm showing you here. So the first step, we've got to draw a couple of triangles, don't we? Okay. All right, so here are the triangles. I'm going to put one in here, and that's going to be a quadrant 2 guy, quadrant 1, I'm sorry. That's 2 here, 5 here, and radical 29. Hopefully you got the same thing. And the other one I'm going to put in here, and that's quadrant 3. And that ended up being a 3, 4, 5, negative 4, negative 3, and 5 on that. See if you got that. First question, tangent A minus B. All right, tangent A minus B, I'm going to move all the way to the left, is we got tangent of A minus the tangent of B, okay, divided by, and I'll go ahead and write it out this way, 1 plus tan A times tan B. Okay, I think tangents are the hardest ones. This one doesn't have radicals, so that's kind of nice. So let me change colors. So you end up with 2 fifths. This is the numerator, minus 3 fourths divided by 1 plus 2 fifths times 3 fourths. Like all you had to know is the tangent on this, and you can see opposite over adjacent is 2 fifths on the first one and 3 fourths on the second one. Okay. All right. So when you do this one, this ends up being negative 7/20. if you get the common denominator of 20, okay? And that's going to be divided by, and this side right here ends up being 13/10. Okay, so when you turn it upside down and go -7/20 times 10/13, you do some cross canceling and you end up with -7/26. Excuse me. Yeah, -7/26. That's right. Okay. Again, a lot of arithmetic involved there. It's not particularly an arithmetic lesson, but there it is. Okay. All right, let me erase a little bit here. And then we'll do the last one of this page. Very, very long lessons. Okay. Erase all that. Come on now. All right, last one is sine of a plus b. All right, the sine of a plus b is going to be sine a cosine b plus cosine a sine b. All right. So I'll switch colors, go to this pink thingy, be good for you. So that ends up being going to have some radicals involved here. 2 over rad 29, so 9, times -4 over 5 plus 5 over radical 29 times -3/5. Okay. So the common denominator is very easy to get. It's 5 rad 29, and we're not going to rationalize this, like I've said before. And in the top of it, you end up with, you have -8 minus 15. So you get -23. Okay. All right. That is 5.2, page 2 of trigonometry. Thank you very much.